When I find myself in times of trouble, Mother Mary comes to me, speaking words of wisdom, let it be. And in my hour of darkness, she is standing right in front of me, speaking words of wisdom, let it be. Let it be, let it be, let it be, let it be. Whisper words of wisdom, let it be. And soon the broken-hearted people living in the world will see they can be the answer, let it be. For though they may be parted, there is still a chance that they be free. They will have an answer, let it be. Let it be, let it be, let it be, let it be. There awaits their answer, let it be. Let it be, let it be, let it be, let it be. Whisper words of wisdom, let it be. And when the night is cloudy, there is still a light that shines on me. Shine until forever, let it be. I wake up to the sound of music, Mother Mary comforts me, speaking words of wisdom, let it be. Let it be, let it be, let it be, yeah, let it be. There will be an answer, let it be. Let it be, let it be, let it be, yeah, let it be. There will be an answer, let it be.
Hello everyone, and welcome to this week's meditation. Please find a comfortable position, gently close your eyes, and begin to take a deep breath, inhaling through your nose and exhaling slowly through your mouth. Letting go of any tension in the body. Feel yourself arriving into this present moment, and allow yourself to receive divine love. Now gently place your attention on your heart space and invite the divine to be present with you in this meditation. You are one with the divine, and together you ascend. You are worthy of a life that supports you deeply. You are created to thrive. And thriving begins with self-care. Feel the peace that comes from a proper foundation. A rhythm guided by love, not control. You wake with the sun, You nourish your body with foods that bless you. You move your body with joy and gratitude. And you give yourself rest, space, and silence. This is self-love. This is what it means to choose union. To honor your vessel, your temple. Your home is an extension of your consciousness. It holds your energy, and it reflects your commitment to your life purpose. Imagine your space now, clean, organized, sacred. Every item has a purpose. Every room is a reflection of your divine self. As you care for your space, you are caring for your vibration, and you are making room for miracles. You are saying yes to God in every small act of order. Your schedule, your home, your habits, they are the foundation that support your union. You and your twin flame are safe to thrive. As you choose this, you choose your ascension. You choose your life purpose. And you choose your divine self. Now, return your attention to your breath. Inhale deeply through your nose and exhale fully through your mouth. Feel this new energy that you've grounded into your being. Feel your union more supported, more secure, more peaceful. You are safe to live a life of structure, beauty, and purpose. You are fully supported, always. Now, bring your attention and awareness back to your body. And when you feel ready, you can begin to open your eyes. And take this new choice and new energy with you. Enjoy the rest of the Sunday service. Thank you.
Hello, Church of Union. Welcome to Sunday service, and I'm here to do a reading today. And the card deck that I'm going to be using for today's reading is Osho Zen Tarot. So let's see what is the first card. And the first card that we have is possibilities. And looking at this card, when I look at the artwork of this card, it feels like, that there's a moment of dawn, and, dawn brings new possibilities. And it's when, you are closing on a few chapters in your life. You may be closing on a few healing cycles, patterns, and, there's like a vulture on the top covering the moon. So somewhere right now you may be feeling that that all your possibilities are ending. You may be feeling that you are in a dark space, or probably not everything is moving. But this card is probably the confirmation that everything is moving. You may not see things moving from your naked eyes, but a lot of things are going to change in the coming future. I also feel that, it's like that as you are closing the healing patterns, you're completing your healing, you're getting to the core of the root cause of whatever you may be healing on your journey, whatever you are doing your inner work on. Things are now changing because there's like a lovely sunrise that's going to happen once you are over this phase, once this is complete, once your healing is complete. So a lot of things are shifting. While you may not see the possibility of everything shifting right now, but everything is moving and it's happening for your good. The second card that we have is outsider. But with everything that is happening right now, you don't have to feel like an outsider. Like, the truth is that at soul level, we know everything is happening. It's just that the difference is that your mind may not anticipate everything, because mind is a tool that's probably used to understanding things basis the past experiences. So mind tends to work in a way that how you have been treated or how things have happened in the past, which is why when new things are happening and before that you're just moving through that, like how we call it breakthrough, but some people take it as a breakdown period. That is when you start to feel like, I don't know what is really happening in your life. But in that moment, all you need is to just go inwards instead of trying to anticipate, trying to understand everything that is happening in your life. All you really need to do is just go deep within in your feelings, and you need to feel included in your life. Like whatever happens, know that God is walking this path, this journey with you, and things are definitely taking a U-turn. However, when you start getting into this pattern, like what is really happening, I don't know, I have no control over my life. I am powerless. I am helpless. I can just see, I can just vouch for things and, just see it from a space. Like what is really happening, you're just getting into a give up energy. And that's exactly what this card is suggesting. But before that, like, the possibilities card says that anything is possible for you depending on what you are choosing. You do have the power. And the next card that we have is clinging to the past. Exactly how I said that, your mind is something that observes things based on what has happened in the past. And which is why when you are moving through this big circle, big cycle of your healing journey to bring the breakthrough that you need, somewhere the past experiences keep kicking back in that no, this can't happen, you can't have your good, you are not going to pass through this stage, you're going to be doomed, you're going to be this and that. That is when you need to learn to discipline your mind and remember yourself that this has happened in the past. Was I healing back then? Probably no. Even if I was healing, probably I needed this spiritual maturity that I have given my inner work, how I am devoted to my inner work today, and how I am making the changes by loving myself through my inner work. So when you try to discipline yourself, given the circumstances, and you have that unshakable faith and that foundation that will not change, that will bring you closer to your breakthrough, that will bring you closer to what you deserve and desire in your life. So stop clinging on to the past, no matter what your experience has been in the past. It is changing. It's a huge possibility that things are really moving in your life. And which is why a lot of upsets may be coming. And these upsets are just the misaligned paths that are not aligning with your new choice, and you can rise through it. So what I would really suggest from today's reading is that everything is moving in your favor, everything is happening for you, just that you need to let go of your past patterns, your past outcomes, and have faith in your inner work, in your devotion, and in your dedication. And the next card and the last card that we have here is projection, that everything is a mirror for you. So if things are not working, aligning, and everything now not coming to the desired possibilities, that's probably because of your own projection. It is only coming up for healing. And as you heal, things will start coming to better possibilities. Also, like if you look at this card, there's like a man and women, and there's like illusion there, there's shadow coming onto the surface. So as you lift up this veil through your inner work, things will change. You will see your brighter face, your true authentic self, and that's how you're gonna get closer to God, yourself, and your twin flame. So I hope you like the reading. Thank you very much. Namaste.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to today's Sunday service. I'm Drake, and today I have the honor of introducing our minister for today, Gabriel, and doing a sermon on showing up for yourself. And I really love this sermon because it's something that I've been working on personally. For someone that has ADHD, showing up for myself has been extremely important in just helping me kind of manage my symptoms and what's going on, because I notice if I don't take like the right supplement or if I don't get enough sleep, it kind of goes off and disrupts my whole day and what goes on. So for example, I know that I'm not really showing up for myself if I start forgetting things or I'm distracted a lot more easily because I'm not getting enough sleep. And something that I realized with ADHD is that sleep is very important, because if you're not getting the proper sleep, your brain just like stops working. So yeah, I've just been working on showing up for myself there, trying to go to bed on time, using blue light glasses if I am using some type of screen so I can fall asleep, easier. It's very important, especially when you're neurodivergent, to show up for yourself. Whatever you need to support yourself, whether it's, eating a really good breakfast, as he said, it could be, exercising. I know with my ADHD, exercising is something that's really important because it helps with dopamine release. And I think just in general, even if you don't have ADHD, exercise is very good for you, and, also releases dopamine, which helps you feel even better. And something that he did talk about as well is that, it's important to move through that resistance that you are having when showing up for yourself. And this is something that I have to work through a lot too, because I know that I need to do something because it's going to benefit me. And, it's me loving myself. But sometimes, yeah, there is that resistance that comes up of, I'll just do it later, or it's not very important. I'm busy with something, so let me do that first. But that belief is directly, me saying to myself, hey, you're not important enough to show up for. And this correlates very, very well on your twin flame journey, because, yeah, maybe you're experiencing your twin flame not showing up for you, or maybe you feel like you're not important to your twin flame. So, yeah, it would just be mirroring that belief back to you. So for me, I know that as I've been working on showing up for myself and, healing my beliefs that I'm not, important enough to focus on, or I have to do other things, I experience first a deeper and more harmonious and balanced relationship with myself and with God, but also my twin flame is reflecting that back to me, showing up for me and being present in my life more, and, wanting to see me, wanting to spend more time with me because I'm doing that for myself. So yeah, this sermon is really, really, important, and it's important because it applies to all areas of your life, and recognizing too that they are all connected. The routine that you do every morning is connected to your twin flame journey. It's connected to your life purpose journey. And if you're not showing up for yourself there, those areas in your life are going to be affected. So it's just about recognizing that, yeah, you are extremely important, right? You're God's child, so you should treat yourself as such. And part of treating yourself as God's child is showing up for yourself and taking care of yourself, loving yourself, really making sure that you feel good so that you can put your all into your day and into your purpose, because that's also how you share God, is through your purpose. So how can you share God completely and fully if you're not taking care of yourself first? So yeah, I really love this sermon. So beautiful. I invite you, if you find this sermon inspiring and you love it as much as I do, to tithe to the Church of Union. It helps us with just putting out more sermons and really getting our message and our message of love out there to other people. So yeah, if you're feeling called, just go to unionism.org and click the link to tithe. We really do appreciate it. And so yeah, I'm gonna introduce our minister today, Gabriel, and I will see you at the end. Bye.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to another Church of Union Sunday service. My name is Gabriel, and I will be your minister of union for this service today. Let us begin with our opening ohms and our opening prayer. You can follow along out loud or in your heart. I am the only child of God, forever part of Him. I am created by Him in perfection, and there I always remain. My mind is my sanctuary, where I keep His holy creation sacred. I will only allow in His voice. I will only accept His word. Today I will hear the word of God. I surrender myself to His teachings through His divine channel. I will honor what He has spoken and accept it as His will. I will be obedient to His word, for this is my salvation. In Christ's name, Om, Amen. Again, welcome to today's Sunday service. Today, I want to talk about how you can change the way you show up for yourself, for your success on your twin flame and really your ascension journey. And this is something that I wanted to talk about primarily because as of the time of this recording, it's about 2 weeks out from 2 or 3 weeks out from Leadership Week. And I had a lot of takeaways from that that really changed my perspective about showing up for myself. But also just in my life, I'm seeing, and in my social media feed even, I'm seeing these different ways to show up for myself that I feel is important on this journey and important to share with you today. So, the first thing that I want to talk about is some ways that you can show up for yourself. What do I even need to do that? And some very obvious ones that you've heard countless times, and kind of the core principle and the core learning breakthrough of Leadership Week was learning to set up workflows that really maximize your power, your self-empowerment to move forward. And this can look like a schedule that works good for you. This can look like the room that you're doing something in. Your bedroom is curated specifically for sleep and maximizing that. Your bathroom helps you get to things efficiently without making too many decisions. Maybe your wardrobe is set up to where you can quickly make decisions. I think it was common that Steve Jobs used to wear almost the same thing every single day so that he could reduce the number of decisions that he was making so that he could better show up for himself. Like those things can't be overlooked in creating a life for yourself that you will like thrive in. If your sleep is messed up, if your day like really starts the night before, right? So if your sleep is messed up because you got to bed late, then your whole day is late the next morning because you're feeling groggy or you hit the snooze button. Maybe you miss out on breakfast and you grab something small, or you only drink coffee, or you skip it entirely, and you're not supporting yourself to move forward with your day. Maybe you forget to exercise, or you skip exercise because that feels like a luxury, or you don't feel like it right now. And all of those things add up to the day that you're going to have. There's a reason why so many multimillionaires start their day early and do the exercise and the self-care and the reading before they even get started with their day. Because as soon as you start work, as we all have known, like the day quickly goes by with, new needs and things that we didn't plan for that require our energy. And if you're still, oh, I didn't fill my well, as we're taught in the teachings of union to always like give to yourself, fill your well so you can then give to others. If you're starting on empty or starting half depleted, then you're going to feel that throughout your day, and you're not going to be able to give and both to yourself and to others in a way that is maximal for your success. If you're doing if you take this to your twin flame journey and you're not really meeting all your needs, then that could be a reason why your twin flame isn't communicating with you. In Twin Flames Finding Your Ultimate Lover, Jeff and Shaleia say that they say this is a reason why your twin flame wouldn't talk to you. Your twin flame, you have a twin flame who won't talk to you. They are mirroring back to you directly how you are not communicating with an aspect of yourself. You might be thinking to yourself, what does that mean? How am I not communicating with myself? Well, perhaps you're ignoring your needs. You ignore your intuition. You ignore putting up healthy boundaries with yourself and others. You ignore listening to yourself. You ignore your sexuality and your sexual needs, your creativity, your spirituality, your divine guidance, your signs, your beauty, your intelligence, your inner child, and the list goes on. If you're not cultivating a relationship with yourself by showing up for yourself in all the ways that you need, meeting your needs, then you're not going to see success with yourself. You're going to have a poor relationship with yourself. And you're also going to have a poor relationship with your twin flame by extension. So it's taking care of these foundational things can help you propel yourself forward into a better life for yourself. And once you've established a routine, and I know it's everybody like says, oh, the routine, and it can be challenging to set that up for yourself. I know it's taken me a really long time to get to regular exercise. It's taken me a long time to surrender to just doing divine dish every day, because I was like, oh no, I just want to cook what I want to cook, right? But as I kind of said, all right, I'm going to give it a try and started working through that, I see how much it gives back to me, where I don't have to worry about, in the case of Divine Dish, I don't have to worry about what I'm going to have for breakfast, care of for me. If I set up, I know when I'm going to bed, I know when I'm going to wake up, I know I'm going to exercise today. I don't have to think about those things. It just becomes a routine. And it can be challenging to establish at first. And maybe you have to adjust things to find what works for you. If you don't like working out in the morning, and like maybe you like working out at night and that feels good for you, and that's okay. It's just about showing up for yourself in a way that you feel like all your needs are being met and you're not letting an area of your life decay while you're, trying to build something with God, whether it be within your life purpose or in your twin flame journey. You can't support all these things. You can't expand if you let your foundation crumble and kind of ignore it. If you really want to get this into a self-discipline routine, and of course, discipline isn't punishing yourself. If you're struggling to get into your workout routine, start small. You don't have to do 30 minutes every single day in order to be successful at first, right? Maybe that's your long-term goal, but you want to show up for yourself in increments that make sense. Maybe you're going to bed at 2 a.m. and it doesn't make sense to start going to bed at 10 p.m., right? You want to slowly work your way into a schedule that works better for your needs so that you're not going to fall off the wagon and then keep going. And of course, you can start one at a time, but you really want to be working towards these types of flows and schedule and discipline for yourself so that you can expand. You loving yourself and building that foundation will naturally attract your twin flame and will help you use your energy that you're, building up momentum throughout the day to propel into your life purpose. As you're setting up these goals, this discipline, the things that you need to do to meet all of your needs, um, something to really keep in mind is that you want to frame it in the right way. I saw this video uh, from a trainer on social media not too long ago, like a fitness trainer, and he was basically reacting to a woman who had had been working out for some months and had been dieting and exercising in the way that, she had been taught to do or saw that she or thought that she should do. And she was very upset because she wasn't seeing the results that she wanted. She wasn't seeing, these things, that she was feeling very discouraged, very just wanting to give up. And the way that she was framing it in her mind, and the trainer goes on to say this, is that, she's framing it in this way of comparison of like, what will people think? How will people judge me for, I'm showing up and I'm still having struggles here. It's really important to, when you frame your thought process around building your schedules and, showing up for yourself, that you show up for yourself for you and not for anyone else, not even for your twin flame. You show up for you. Maybe you show up for God. You show up for God, you show up for you. Um, but you don't want to show up and let's say like, well, I have to do this to get my twin flame. I have to do this so that God will love me. I have to do this because I need to be healthy or because somebody, like when you frame it like that, there's already a negative energy. There's already a connotation of like, this is bad, this is a chore, I don't want to do it. You want to find yourself in a capacity where you can show up for yourself because you love yourself. That discipline is love, right? And you love yourself because you want your body to be healthy and thrive. You set a boundary to go to bed at 10 p.m. instead of midnight because you want to give yourself a full amount of rest so that you can do more in your day. You want to come at it from a place of this is me caring for myself. And I do this for myself because I love myself. Just in the same way of, even if brushing teeth, if that's where you're at, like brushing your teeth, I want my teeth to be healthy so that um I want my teeth to be healthy so that I can continue to eat healthy foods and so that I can, save my future self from any dental issues, even small things like that. You want to frame it as an act of love for yourself because that's really what it is and can be for yourself if you allow it to be. If you approach it like it's the algebra test that you didn't want to study for, you probably know from experience that that's going to be really hard to get yourself to do, and you're going to give yourself excuses to fall back on. Whereas if you, have those moments where, oh, I don't really feel like working out today, but you know what? I do love how I feel afterwards. So you just kind of push through that initial resistance and you find that you will be able to keep going. I know every time I've felt resistance and continue to work out, I've never regretted working out. I've always regretted not working out. I've always regretted not feeding myself properly, not going to bed on time. Because the next morning, the next day, the later on, you're like, oh, like why didn't I do that? I don't feel good if I didn't do that. And so prioritizing those that or letting go of that short-term pleasure and really embracing the long-term and the delayed gratification of, oh, I may feel a little uncomfortable while I exercise. I may feel a little uncomfortable going to bed early, but I will feel better in the long run and it will help me achieve my goals. The next thing I want to really kind of dive into is, you know, again, like you don't want to compare yourself to others. And this is something again that Jeff and Shaleia say in their book in Twin Flames Finding Your Ultimate Lover. Like ultimately, it doesn't matter what anyone else thinks, says, does, or chooses. You must be satisfied and happy with yourself. You must feel good about yourself and your choices, and no one else can have any say in that whatsoever. At the end of the day, it is you alone who you must be with for all eternity. The thoughts, choices and words of others should have no bearing whatsoever on how you handle your relationship with yourself. So the way that you set up your life should be something that feels good for you, that empowers you. Something that works for someone may not work for another because maybe you have a different sleep pattern, maybe you're neurodiverse and you need specific sensory items to help you throughout the day and or routines or supplements. Those types of things are important to take care of too, just like all of your needs. It's really important to make sure that you take care of you and you don't just follow a cookie cutter what Warren Buffett does or what some other master class tells you to do. Like yes, they can be a guide. Yes, guru can be a guide, but you have to still do what feels good for you and what allows you and your energy to flow in the best way possible, even if it looks a little different and it isn't what every single person is doing. Maybe if you have special dietary needs, that's okay. Allow for yourself and don't let that hold you back because you think you should be eating the same thing everyone else is, or you should be going to bed at 10. Maybe it works for you to go to bed at midnight. Maybe that's your ideal schedule. Let yourself do what you need to do and not be held back by the thoughts and opinions of others. The next point I want to make is that it's really important to just show up, however it looks, no matter what anybody says. And this is part of the comparison in a way, but I think deeper than that, it is just showing up in the best way you can for you. There's a story I have with Leadership Week. We went out to go-kart, and I had never done go-karts before, and quite frankly, I wasn't very good at it. Like I was last. I was dead last every single race, and it was like a very like interesting experience for me. But regardless of that, I I had fun with it. I was adapting to this like the way to drive the cart, and but I I was like I think I was twice the I was slower. How do I say this? I was twice as slow as the fastest person. So like like if someone came in at like 25, my speed was 50. I was like, I was behind them. But the point being is that I just kept going. I was like, I decided I wasn't gonna race anyone else because I was learning and I would just do my best. I was like, if I happen to be good at this, if I happen to get the hang of it, great. If I just show up for myself, great. And just have fun, no expectations. I'm just showing up because I wanted to have fun and it was fun for me. Um, and of course, I was last every single race, not to spoil anything. But there was a point where that we had different heats. We had like the practice run, we had the semifinal, and then we had like the final. And by the time we reached the final, like it's a long day. It's a long process of everybody doing multiple races and waiting around. And at some point, the other people who were supposed to be in the race with me, Most of them had dropped out by the time we got to the final. And I think at the end of it, there were just three of us that were on the track. And by default, I got third place in that race. I still came in last of everyone, but I got third in that race because there were only three people left. And this is not a comparison to them or, their choices or what they did. This was God's message to me to just show up for yourself. Just show up. And sometimes you will still win, even if you don't even if it looks like to everyone else that you're the slowest, that you're you know, the least likely to come into place. Sometimes other people drop out. Sometimes things work out in your favor. I got third place because no one else showed up and I got there by default. But the point was I showed up and did something for me. And that's how your life is. You're not actually racing against anyone else. I certainly was not. But you're improving over yourself. You're showing up for you. And at the end of the day, the prize that you get at the end is your perfect life, not someone else's perfect life. You're not, competing with anyone else for your twin flame, even if it looks like it. You're not competing with anyone else with your life purpose, even if you're doing similar things as someone else. Only you can give the gift that you have, and only your twin flame is your twin flame. Your perfect life is your perfect life. And you can only have that if you set yourself up for success, if you show up for it. And so, you have to set yourself up for success with the structures and the love and the discipline and just showing up the best you can, even if it's not that great. You show up and you will get better, and you will start to build momentum into your life and your ascension goals, whatever they may be. So, as you're reflecting on your life, I invite you to see where you can improve and optimize workflows and discipline and schedule into your life. Where can you support yourself better and meet your needs in a way that maybe you aren't currently? You don't have to go crazy. It can just be one small thing that can help you empower yourself today. This feels complete to me. Thank you. And let us close with our closing prayer and ohms. Father, I accept your word into my heart. I will honor your will in my life and will follow you without hesitation anywhere you ask. I know you guide me into your heart where I belong. I accept that you are everywhere and your teaching is in all things. God, I know you provide me clarity in this teaching of union that I may be forever in union with you. I accept that you are in me as you are in my brother. I will not deny my brother your word and will share your teaching with him in any way you ask and only as you ask. For when I share my salvation with him, I fully claim my salvation and return to you with him. In Christ's name, Om, Amen. Speaking this prayer in your heart means that you have accepted that you are on the path of awakening to your true divine nature. This is what it means to be a unionist. Follow the teachings of union with God wherever you find them and purify your consciousness into perfect union with your Creator. Thank you all for joining us. I invite you to tithe to the Church of Union at unionism.org. cultivate.org if you feel called, and we'll see you next week.
All right. Hello and welcome back. That was a really awesome sermon. I enjoyed it. Resonated completely with me and where I'm at. And one thing I wanted to talk about is, during the sermon, Gabe talks about how he went go-karting for the first time. And, every single time they, made time or whatever, he was always last. But he just kept showing up. He kept trying. He kept going. He didn't really care about how others were doing. He just said, I'm just going to show up for myself, and because it's the first time I'm doing it, and I'm going to keep going. So he kept going around and around and around, and eventually people started dropping out, or they didn't want to go anymore. And then when they got to the finals, there was 3 people left, so it was 2 other people and him, and he ended up placing 3rd. But to him, it didn't really matter about the placement, because the spiritual lesson for him was he showed up for himself. And he made that commitment toward himself, and he got to, the 3rd place, even though it didn't really matter. And what God was teaching him is, hey, it's okay to show up for yourself. And yeah, show up for yourself when it's hard. Show up for yourself, even if you're coming in last place. Show up every single time, and things will change. Things will shift, and you will feel better, because Gabe realized at the end of it, like, he felt better about how he was doing. And, instead of being upset and angry that he was last and, comparing himself to all the other people on the go-karts, he just said, you know what? I showed up for myself, and that's enough. And that's really stuck with me, because, on the twin flame journey and just my spiritual journey in general, sometimes I find myself comparing myself to other people of, they're closer, in their union, or they're already in union. They have this already. They're very successful in their business here, or they're doing this. Why am I not like that? Why am I, in this space? But I had to recognize that, yeah, it's not right of me to compare myself to others, because everybody has a different journey with God, and none of us have the same journey. So someone is learning lessons with God that I've already learned and already mastered, and that other person is learning lessons with God that I haven't mastered yet, and they have, and that's okay. It doesn't mean that they're further than me, or they're doing better, or they're better than me, because we're all equal in the eyes of God. And so that's something that I really took away, is you don't have to compare yourself to others, because that doesn't even matter. All that matters is that you are showing up for yourself every day. So you're showing up for yourself every day in your health, and taking care of yourself, exercising, eating good, whatever it is that helps you feel good. You're also showing up in your spiritual work, right? You're doing the mirror exercise. You're doing the inner work when you feel bad. And third, you're showing up in your relationship with God, right? You're showing up every day to deepen that, and to really, develop that. So as long as you are showing up, you're doing enough. You're always doing enough. So don't ever think that you aren't. Don't ever think that, oh, over there, this looks better, or they're doing better than me. No. Just worry about showing up. That's it. And if you're showing up, that's all. That's all you need to do every day. Show up for yourself, and you see the results in your life. And first, it just starts with showing up so you can feel better, and so you can love yourself. And because you love yourself, even Gabe said this, right? How are you talking to yourself? Oh, I'm exercising because I have to. I'm doing the inner work because I have to. I'm eating well because I have to. Well, that's not really loving, right? That's negative energy behind that. Showing up with, I'm eating better because I love myself. I'm exercising because I love myself. And when I get older, I want to be able to walk around. I'm doing my inner work because I love myself, and I desire a closer relationship with God and myself. And I also desire my twin flame. And so it's changing your perspective of showing up for yourself. How do you show up for yourself? Or do you show up for yourself with, I show up with myself because I just have to do it. I just have to do it. Blech. Or do you show up for yourself because you love yourself and you genuinely just want to feel better? And so maybe it's about asking yourself that question. And I know I had to ask myself that question recently too. Am I showing up for myself just because I have to? Or am I showing up for myself because I love myself? And ultimately it was like, yeah, because I love myself and I want to feel better. I want to have a deep and loving relationship with myself. And it feels good to show up for myself, because if I'm not showing up for myself, I feel bad. And my reality gets affected because I feel bad. And another thing that I took away too is, you know, you don't have to like show up everywhere really fast. You don't have to master everything really fast. You can just start with like one thing. You can start with 5 minutes of exercise. You can start with going to bed an hour earlier. You can start with cooking yourself breakfast. Whatever feels easiest, just start there. It's not a race. You don't have to race to master everything and show up for yourself in all areas of your life. You're going to get to do that. You're going to get that. But yeah, just focus on that one space where you feel called to the most. So yeah, maybe it's exercising. You really, really want to exercise, but you also can't exercise 30 minutes because that's just, you can't do it right now. Well, do 5, do 10, show up there. And you show up there consistently, and then you can move on to the next one. And it's perfect. You know, I thought that I had to show up everywhere all at once, but you can't do that. You know, you can't master everything at once. So it's okay to just take like 2 or 3 things and work on those. And then when you've mastered those, you can take on more, right? So there's no need to rush. Yeah, your journey is perfect for you. You don't need to race to be ahead. Wherever you're at right now is perfect. And it's just working on that place that you're at right now and working on feeling better there, working on showing up. All right. So if you enjoyed this sermon, go to unionism.org because you can get in touch with our past sermons. We have meditations on there. We have music that you can listen to and all these other juicy things. So if you want to just check that out. And yeah, if you're also feeling called in your heart to tithe to the church, we really do appreciate that. And yeah, it just helps us with the Church of Union and, you know, sharing all that love that we have in our hearts with everybody out there. Okay. And also, so make sure you join us in the Unionism Spiritual Discussion Group for after church tea time, where we will have a discussion on this sermon and, you know, just about our insights and what we took away from there as well. Okay, so thank you guys so much. Have a great rest of your day or night whenever you're watching this, and we'll catch you in the next sermon. Okay, bye-bye.